So recently I played a little game called Dragonsword, which is supposed to be the spiritual successor of Dragonnest. That's right, Dragonnest, the old school classic game known for its goated combat. This game just launched recently in Korea, January 21st, and if you missed the live stream on Twitch, you should totally go to my channel right now and follow so you don't miss out on any of these shiny new games I play, or old ones I dive into. But if you hate Twitch for whatever reason, that's okay, because we're going to be talking about Dragonsword here in this video, along with some highlights of my first hands-on experience so you guys can check out some gameplay. Before we do though, really quick, let me show you guys how you can lower your ping in any game via this sponsored message. I want you to check something out. Bottom left corner of my screen, you're going to see my ping. I'm currently pinging 300. I've got ESO, Elder Scrolls Online running in the background, and I'm currently connected to the NA server from Korea. Now, this usually jumps back and forth between like 270 to 310, and this is my raw connection to the server. As you can see, I've got exit lag running in the back here, but I'm not connected to the Elder Scrolls Online. I'm going to go ahead and connect to the server here through exit lag. It's going to disconnect me here. There it goes. I'm going to move that out the way. I'm going to go ahead and type my password. I want you to notice that there are no cuts to this video because despite this being a sponsored ad or plug, I want to make sure that you guys know that this is for real. I'm going to go ahead and type in my password here. I've also set up the scene in a way where my username is covered. So there's that. We're going to be logging in here. And as we log in, I'm going to bring this back in. And as you can see, I'm now connected to the Elder Scrolls Online via exit lag. We're going to log in here, and I want you to look bottom left corner of my screen. The initial number might be a little high, but you got to let it stabilize. There it is, 339. Watch this. Let it take a couple of times, and it's going to probably go under 200. Generally, it's around 170 to 200, 210. Sometimes I've seen it go. There it is, 200. So yeah, if you guys are interested in lowering your ping, I would highly recommend exit lag. I've been using exit lag for a lot of years, and everyone knows they are and always have been the standard in the industry when it comes to lowering your ping. Currently, I'm pretty sure there's a big promotion going on where you can get 12 months for the price of 6 months. So if this is something that you're interested in, if you guys want to lower your ping, I would highly recommend exit lag. Links can be found in the description below. When it comes to classics people reminisce about, Dragonnest is one of the more commonly referred to games, namely because of its iconic combat. I mean, shit, even my friend Nico Tulo glazes the combat in this game. As someone who has recently returned to the game myself for my MMO Gauntlet, yeah, I too can personally attest to how good the combat was, especially for its time. Dragonnest is a pretty old game. Fast forward to 2026 and we have Dragonsword. Dragonsword is an open world action RPG published by Webzen, developed by Hound 13. Hound 13 being the company founded by Park Chung-sik, who was one of the main developers that created Dragonnest. Dragonsword is supposed to be the spiritual successor of Dragonnest, and a lot of people have been labeling this as Dragonnest 2. But after having played the game myself, yeah, it's not the same thing at all. Maybe there's some lore overlap, but yeah, other than that, not the same at all. So what is Dragonsword like then? Well, the best way I can describe it is a Korean anime gacha game. Dragonsword gives me the impression of Korea trying to get into the Chinese anime gacha space, so be prepared to hear a lot of the Genshin clone comments with this one. Now, there are a few standout points with Dragonsword though, in my opinion. The first being how combat feels Koreanified, if that's a word, meaning despite the overall game feeling like another anime gacha spinoff, Dragonsword's combat feels a lot heavier and weightier than the other gacha games, in a good way. Generally speaking, I've always been a fan of how combat was done in Korean games, and I certainly felt like the combat was more impactful in Dragonsword in contrast to the floatier, lighter action combat a lot of Chinese gacha games have. Dragonnest was known for its goated combat. However, this is not Dragonnest, and any expectations of this being like Dragonnest will probably leave you disappointed. Instead, the conversation makes a lot more sense when comparing it to Chinese anime gacha games. And when comparing it to those games, I thought the combat in Dragonsword was pretty solid. Dragonsword seems to focus pretty heavily on a combo synergy system where you get ability procs depending on the state of the mob. For example, knocking an enemy up in the air allows me to combo into a different skill. You do this while constantly tagging back and forth from your roster of 3 characters. Yes, by the way, this is a game where you have a roster of characters you're swapping back and forth from. The overall general gameplay will feel in line with typical Chinese gacha games. And yes, by the way, there is gacha in this game as well, so it is quite literally a gacha game. However, there does seem to be some MMO elements to it, not really, maybe just a couple, namely the raid content, which I wasn't able to experience yet. Maybe that's MMO-like, I'm not sure, but when I do, I'll definitely update you guys on it. And there also seems to be a world, a seamless world that fills with players online when you're in town. I haven't been able to pump too many hours into this one yet, but what I do know is that when you're in town, you're surrounded by players online. When you exit the town, I believe you're in your own world, because I haven't really seen people outside of the town, but it's tough to tell because it is all seamless. But that would be my guess. I probably saw up to maybe 20 or so people when I was in town. Aside from all of this, yeah, pretty standard anime gacha stuff. If you're a fan of this genre, the anime gacha genre, this is probably going to be something on your radar, and I can even see this having some level of hype surrounding it when launching globally. However, if you're looking for a new MMO, you can keep hoping, because this is definitely not a real MMO. Anyways, I'm going to stop yapping now. Here are some highlights of my first hands-on experience with the game on Twitch. Okay, guys, so here we are. Here we are. Right out the gate, obviously the visuals, amazing. Movement, very smooth. Feels more on par with Genshin-like games. The attack also feels on par with the Genshin-like games. It's smooth. When I attack here, I am animation locked, so if I'm holding W during that animation, I'm locked, but I can dodge roll out of it with shift. Space, there's no double jump. Okay, Q is another attack which I can direct. I can move around during that animation. I will say this though, if this is gonna be just another Genshin-like game, I like this dodge roll better than the spammable dash that you see with all of the other Chinese Genshin games. You know what I mean? There's a little bit of a cooldown on that dash too. What is that? A little slow motion? A little slow motion effect there into a bullet time thing? Also, there's no heavy attack by holding left mouse button down. Genshin vibes for sure. Feels a little less floaty though compared to those games. Oh, what is this? Oh, here it is. Okay, so there's a hero swapping thing. Okay. Oh. Stagger. Cancel my animation there too. Skills does she have? It definitely feels less floaty than the Genshin games. Feels a little heavier, feels a little slower. Feels a little bit more, I guess, impactful in landing abilities, but I mean, it's pretty Genshin-like. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, the character swapping and stuff like that too, right? But it is, the combat does feel less floaty, a little bit slower, a little heavier though. Okay, there are definitely players here. I wonder if this is going to be more of an MMO version of a Genshin-like game. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, chat. I don't play a lot of Genshin-like games, but I don't think you're immediately like after you finish the tutorial prologue, I don't think you're thrown into an online world, right? Well, yeah, I'm definitely it's definitely nice to see other players here. So is this essentially Genshin Impact meets MMO? Is this actually an MMO version of Genshin then? Is that what they're going for here? Okay, it looks like this is the world. I like how that mini map moves dynamically. That's pretty nice. Out in the world, I don't see any adventures though, so I think you're in your own instance. So the game must be gacha for unlocked playable characters. I would be shocked if this did not have gacha. I've already seen some items with stars and shit, so should we have a look? There it is. there it is. Yeah, I mean, this is just another. This is a gacha game. This is what it is. It's a gacha game. Oh, I have a 10 pull. This is the banner you'd want to pull on. Ine Hwakjung. You get a 5-star and 80 pulls. 0.4% chance to pull her. Watch me get her on my first 10 pull. I feel like I didn't get shit. Yeah, I feel like I did not get shit. 지배하는 머리? What the fuck is that? What did I just get though? 52 damage, 12 defense. The system is explaining, but I don't want to read it. So this says karma. So I guess karma is just a piece of gear that you equip because it's equipped to my warrior gear, warrior character. 1,745. So I need 2,000. It's about 2,000, right? For a 10 pull, is that right? This would be the equivalent of $117 to an American. But with the current exchange rate, probably around $85 right here. You get, so this is the 1,000 pack. So it's essentially, I guess, 30 bucks. Dragonnest Classic, when it hits other regions, if Dragonnest Classic really comes out, for sure I will play it, man. Dragonnest was pretty sick. Yep. Nice little, you guys, I triggered my first cutscene. I am triggering cutscenes like crazy here. Let's be doing something. Oh, I'm literally on top of him. What? What is this Monster Hunter shit? What the hell? How did I? What's? Oh, when he stunned my kid, this guy literally just. What? Okay, yeah, that's actually pretty cool. I like that. I think I'm gonna put this shrine together here and move on, boys. Yeah, that's pretty much it. As far as today goes, though, I'm ready to move on, guys. I'm ready to move on. I think I've seen enough. What do you guys think? Have you guys seen enough?